And good evening. Welcome to All Sports Western New York. Bob Kaczynski, glad to be back with you. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. We'll be talking Buffalo Bills, a little bit of the Taste of Buffalo, which I had the honor of being a judge. And we're talking Buffalo Bison baseball, and we have with us the voice of the Bisons, Ben Wagner. Ben, thanks for being with us. The rest of the troops are off. It's All-Star Week, but you're down here talking up the Bison, so I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, out grinding. No 3-day layoff for me. Bison baseball all the time.
Bison baseball 24/7.
Always.
Of course, you know, John Danny's and Mike Wichkowski, they're slaving away on a private jet out to Reno for the AAA All-Star game. I'm sure they'll have stories coming back, but it's the All-Star break. Let's assess the Bisons. I mean, the move to the Blue Jays, which should have provided a better roster. The team is above 500. I don't know if they're performing exactly maybe as well as everybody. Well, the Blue Jays aren't performing as well as they'd hoped. Has that gone down the ladder to the AAA team?
There's always a ripple effect, especially early in the season when the Blue Jays kind of were knocked back on their heels because they weren't getting the performance, not only from their superstars, but the guys that were supposed to fill those roles as well. And because of that, they made some roster moves. Buffalo was impacted, which you like to see that immediate impact so a fan can connect from Buffalo to Toronto right away. But when the Bisons hit the ground running, 17 wins. Nobody had won more than that in the modern era than this year's edition of the Bisons. And you look at the standings right there, 3.5 games back, where a week ago you could have written off the Bisons because of some shoddy play in May. Very erratic when it comes to putting wins and losses, and very streaky month of June. But July, things started to level off, partly because the Blue Jays played better, so there were less roster moves from a Buffalo standpoint, but also the fact that the Pawtucket Red Sox lost now 12 out of their last 15 going into the All-Star break. So Buffalo kind of got their own little shot in the arm, getting themselves back in the race just by mentally looking at the standing sheet and said, wow, we're right back in this thing. Plus, you've got the wild card that'll factor in with the International League playoffs as well. And remember, from a minor league standpoint, the season is shorter than the big league standpoint. So 144 versus 162. So you have a whole month less of exciting baseball in downtown Buffalo.
And it makes sense that Pawtucket would struggle because the Red Sox had called up a bunch of guys because of injuries, and that's just the nature of playing in the Triple League.
Yeah, that is exactly the nature of this beast, because at a moment's notice, when your ballparks like being at Fenway with the Red Sox, or for Buffalo's standpoint, being less than 100 miles away from Rogers Center, you can make that call and you can have a guy that falls with an injury during batting practice. You can get that guy up and possibly even in the lineup that night. So that's really the luxury.
Now, oddly, the Bison's road record is better than their home record.
Yeah, I can't figure that one out, to be honest with you. And a lot of the reason that Buffalo had such a strong road record at the beginning of the season is because of an 8-0 road trip. But they have played more consistently on the road than they have at home. And there's really no rhyme or reason. Better power on the road from the Bisons when you look at the sheer numbers of things. Some of the guys that are the power bats, if you will, have hit more home runs on the road. There have been some cases where there have been more home run friendly ballparks as well, but it doesn't necessarily result in more runs being scored. The Bisons just hit more home runs. So I think that's the glaring fact, but I cannot put my finger on it. And I've asked guys in the clubhouse, I said, is there a different comfort? Is the ballpark? They say no, because it's just for as many guys that say they see the ball better at a ballpark in ABC city, the equal number of guys can see the ballpark just as well in Buffalo. And you look at some of the power there. Guys climbing walls trying to pull back home runs. Buffalo has really surprised some people, I think, in terms of the power. They've got Mauro Gomez, who leads AAA baseball in home runs going into the All-Star break with 25. He's got a chance really to set the record for home runs in a season, or at least finish in the top 5 easily if he just has a strong second half.
We were talking before we started the show. The switch to the Blue Jays parent team not only has given more talent to the roster for Buffalo, but it's helped attendance.
Absolutely, 100%. And the talent, I think, translates as well, because the Blue Jays touted some of these free agent signs, the 6-year free agent guys coming in as well with some major league experience, plus the fact that they've got some prospects that they've elevated through the system as well. And the Blue Jays wanted to promote these guys, but also the fact that they're seeing themselves play in a big league uniform times, beyond even Moises Sierra, Anthony Gose, and some of the other guys. But you've got guys that are performing with incredible numbers and obviously a lot of fanfare. There's Ching-Ming Wong right there. He won a boatload of games wearing the Yankees uniform. Didn't have an opportunity to go back with New York. jumped at an opportunity to pitch in the rotation with Toronto. Well, that's an all-star caliber pitcher right there, a guy that finished second in Cy Young voting. And now you got an opportunity to stand within 10 feet of Ching-Ming Wong if you come across the border. That is the kind of resonance that the fan base from Toronto sees in Buffalo as well. Excuse me. Plus the fact that they've got fun, affordable entertainment value.
Right.
So they're coming right across, and it's great, and it's working out exactly like, one, the Blue Jays hoped it would, but also the Bisons, I think, are seeing a surge in the attendance as well.
Surge in beer sales?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Now that we
just
started
heard a rumor the Canadians like to drink beer.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's really cool to hear back from the fan base, whether it's social media, whether it's emails we get, whether it's the guys that are sending me emails that are listening online, no matter where they're at. They come down. They can't believe that they can get in the gate for less than $12, and that's not even paying full price for your ticket. And you can sit right behind the plate, or you can just buy your general admission ticket. That's $10, and you're going to pay half that for a can of beer when you're coming to the ballpark.
Now, I've talked about this before with you and Duke McGuire about poutine, which is an addition to the culinary treats. Have you tried the poutine yet at the ballpark?
We have not. We've sampled many things at the ballpark, but usually at the time that the poutine starts really cranking out of the concession stand, we're doing a stand-up or in the first or second inning. If it would just randomly arrive in a broadcast booth in the future, I'm going to guess that we would sample.
Oh, it's got to rant. Somebody has to bring it to you for you to guys.
Well, I mean, when I worked with a baseball Hall of Famer like Duke McGuire, I mean,
people just send gifts.
These are the sort of things that are catered to us.
How is Duke doing?
Duke is very excited. He is, I think, really involved in this team. He likes where this team is headed. He loves having Marty Brown back as well. And this is the time of year when the kids are out of school, the ballpark really starts to crank, the promotions get bigger, the crowds get bigger. And this, I mean, as Duke knows, I mean, he was back there in the heyday. He closed out War Memorial Stadium. He loves to see Coca-Cola Field jammed, and he likes to see all the celebrity guest appearances, which, by the way, I hear is going to come very soon.
Yeah, there's a big night Thursday night.
There it is. Look at that. Rizzo's headed to the ballpark. Congratulations, Bob Koshinsky. Look at that. We come out of the All-Star break, I mean, full throttle, and honoring you.
Yeah, I'm very honored. I've been selected as the Buffalo Bison Italian Man of the Year. And people say, how can Koshinsky? Well, because my mom's Italian. I was raised, with Italian mom, Italian food, and her maiden name is Rizzo. So I'm honored because I don't know. I might be. I'm guessing I might be the first guy with a Polish last name to get the Italian Man of the Year. But I'm very much proud of my Italian heritage.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
on that. And now the question is, have you been practicing your warm-up pitch?
No, because I'd like to think I'm a natural athlete. I'd like to think that. But I think before Thursday night, you're probably right. I should give it a couple of tosses.
Have you tossed out one before?
Yes, I've actually done a first pitch. I won't. I will say this. I've received one or two honors, and I'm pretty old, Ben. So I have thrown one or two, first pitches. But I know at Coca-Cola Field, you don't stand up on the mound. You stand in front of the mound.
Oh well,
right?
Well, no, I would go right to the slab.
They're gonna put me right. Usually they don't let you up there. After they rake it so nice.
You've got. Come on, you're the Italian American.
You're our truth.
You absolutely. This is your night, Bob. You've got to get up there on the slab, scrape it up a little bit.
I have Dennis DePaulo and all his friends there to back me up.
Yeah.
And then Buster Bison usually is the catcher, right?
Right.
And he stands up, so you always got to toss it high.
Well, try to get it high, but
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. There's more clout if you go to the top of the mound and you fire a strike.
That would be awesome.
The pressure's on.
Yeah. Or if I hit I've hit Buster and like the horn or something.
Don't hit Buster. Hit Booch.
I'm sure he'll be standing next to me. He's seen me throw before. We're going to take a commercial break. More with Ben Wagner talking Bisons right after this. Welcome back. Speaking of the Bisons, Tuesday, July 23rd, it's Classic TV Night, sponsored by WBBZ TV, of course. If you'd like tickets, you have a chance to win by going to WBBZ.tv. Click on Ticket Giveaway and see if you have a chance to attend next Tuesday night's game, which is going to be great. It'll be trivia questions all night, some of your favorite TV show highlights, whatnot. And, of course, John DeSciullo, our promotion director extraordinaire, will be there doing giveaways and things. It'll be a little fun night. The Bisons have always had great promotions.
Always. It's a staple. It's really what drives the entire schedule. Player moves you cannot control. Guy could be here today, biggest name in the system, and gone tomorrow. But what you can't control, Bob, is the fact that we can open the gates, have great promotions, great entertainment, and by the way, there's a baseball game happening in the middle of all of that.
And when the team is, because this roster, as we've talked about, has a lot of talent. So it's great to have the promotions. It's even better to sit there and watch an entertaining baseball game.
Well, this year it's come full circle. I mean, with the talent, with the promotion schedule, with the weather that we've had recently as well, it's the perfect storm. And we've seen that reflected in the gates. You go back the last 10 or 12 games, over 110,000 people have walked through the gates. Now, a lot of that has happened because of Major League rehabs. We had Josh Johnson in the ballpark. Jose Reyes has been there as well. Brett Lawrie just recently joined the club. And maybe Melky Cabrera right around the corner as well. By the time you guys are celebrating WBBZ night at the ballpark, maybe even Melky's playing in the outfield.
Who knows? Let's talk a little bit about the majors. We showed the board. Let's look at the American League East again. The Red Sox have been a huge surprise. Of course, you've got Farrell as their manager, who came from the Blue Jays in a trade, technically a trade. And the Red Sox are hanging in there. They're 2.5, although Tampa Bay had made a run in this last week because Boston was up by 5 at one point. Tampa Bay, you can't count them out. The Orioles kind of tease. The Yankees have just gone through so many injuries. You think the Yankees are really going to get it together at any point, Ben?
I don't think so. I think they've got just too many injuries, too many lingering things, too. Derek Jeter came back. They rushed him a little bit faster than what I think they wanted to, but Jeter kept giving himself the green light, so they got him back in the lineup. Then all of a sudden, it's not the ankle, it's something else because he overcompensated for the quad, so that nicked up, plus the fact that you've got A-Rod in the lingering questions. There's uncertainty in the rotation. There's a lot of question marks with the New York Yankees, plus you've got teams above them that are surging, and not only do you have the Red Sox being the surprise, you've got the Rays that are continuing to get healthier, too, when they're going to add some arms in the pitching depth. And then the Orioles. The Orioles, led by Chris Davis, just continue to score runs. They continue to win big games, and they continue to just run the table night in and night out. That is my surprise team overall. And I didn't think that Baltimore could put it together again because of all the fanfare, of all the pressure and the surprises that they had from last season, now building momentum into this year, too. They just have not let up. It's been a really fun American League East to watch.
Let's go to the Central. My one son's a big Cleveland Indians fan, and you look at the standings in the East. All the teams have great records. In the Central, the Indians are a game and a half behind the Tigers. I know we have a lot of Cleveland fans in the area, and of course they have a new manager as well.
Well, in what Tito's been able to do, and Terry Francona with Cleveland, I think has changed the culture, which also indicates that it wasn't Tito's fault in Boston either. It was more of a clubhouse issue. And John Farrell, while he's having success in the AL East, the Red Sox are continuing to perform well. The surprise of the American League, in my opinion, on the positive side, there's plenty of surprises on the negative side, but on the positive side is what the Indians have been able to do and hang with it. They've endured some injuries. They've had a lot of unrest. They've had some bad losing streaks as well. They've had some really bad games, but nothing seems to really knock them back on their heels where they've stumbled enough to take themselves out of the race. And while other teams are helping them stay in that race, Detroit's right where they want to be, but they weren't really concerned with Cleveland going into the season. But now only a game and a half at the All-Star break, Cleveland has some decisions to make whether or not they want to shop some guys or find maybe a key piece, a key addition, maybe a bat, maybe another arm as well.
Make a run for it.
Yeah.
Out west, Oakland, they've got the second best record in the league. They just took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox, and they've got the Rangers right on their heels.
An exciting team. Most of the guys that are in that 1 through 9 batting order, more times than not, could walk down the street in downtown Oakland. Nobody would even know who they are outside Cespedes, who just gained a lot of fame winning the All-Star Home Run Derby. But that to me is a huge surprise. But then on the negative side too, nobody thought that Oakland would have the best or second best record in all of the AL.
What about in the National League? Any surprises for you in the National League?
New York and what Terry Collins has been able to continue to roll with the New York Mets, plus the fact that they've got some young arms like Matt Harvey. And then, of course, you've got Zach Wheeler, part of that rotation. 11 back, and you can say, Ben, how in the world are you surprised at that? Well, I thought that they would be 18 or 20 games back by this point. Florida, I knew, was going to be a disaster. The Braves continue to win. Look at the Nationals as well. That's a young team that, while you're 6 games back, you may get the benefit of having that second wild card get you into the playoffs. But I think more people wanted to see the Nationals with that youth and the talent that they have lead this division, but the Braves continue just to win.
Just so we're not leaving anybody out, Dave put up the other two division standings, and we'll look at them very quickly. Out west, the Diamondbacks up 2.5. The Dodgers, I think, are a surprise.
The Dodgers are a surprise.
I mean, they're only 500, but they're still only 2.5.
Well, that's the culture of that division too. Usually 500 or a couple of games above 500 get you even in qualifying where you can win that division, which is always a surprise to me. But the Dodgers should have been leading that division by 12 games, not being 2.5 games back with the money and the payroll and all the tout that they were doing on their own.
You know, you talk about the second wildcard team. I know I was listening the other day to one of the stations, and, you know, they're looking at the American League. Well, there's the National League Central standings as we're talking, but because the Pirates are hanging in there. I know we do have some Pirates fans up here as well. But with the second wildcard, I think in the American League in that final week, because of the way teams are playing each other, you've got like 4 teams that are going to be battling it out in those final 3 or 4 games for a playoff spot, which is going to be like 2 years ago when you had that unbelievable finish. I mean, that's why they do this, to keep fans interested.
Absolutely. You keep fans interested in not only your team, but you keep the casual baseball fan interested in the race, in the momentum that it goes. When most teams are removed going into September, rosters expand, and then you see guys that you have no idea where they came from playing in big league ball games. But the last couple of weeks now mean something for not only the teams that are removed from it, but also teams that are trying to surge forward. May not have a shot at the division. You may not have a shot to really make a deep run in it, but you can play spoiler and you can play yourself into postseason play. And that's exactly what Bud Selig was hoping for when he added this.
Tonight, Tuesday night, is the All-Star game. I'm sure everybody, right after they watch this show, will be flipping over, waiting for the All-Star game. Last week, we had Art Wander on the show. Art Wander historically has hated the All-Star game. He hates the concept. I love the Home Run Derby. I love what they do the night before. I know AAA does it as well. But the whole, do you think the All-Star game still has the luster of maybe, say, 15, 20 years ago?
No, I don't think it has the luster that it had 15, even 10 years ago, really. Now, yes, it counts. You can put home field advantage on it, but what you've also done, though, is made it even more of an exhibition affair, which I didn't like. If you're going to have the All-Star game with the league's best represented, it should come down to it should be media members and players. The fan interaction, again, building the brand of baseball, getting people involved. While that is great, why then have one of your exhibitions or one of the banner events for an entire baseball season ride on solely home field advantage in the World Series? And I know exactly what came of it. I get it. But now you're letting fans dictate more of a popularity contest versus who the managers and who the players would like the opportunity to play with. So I'm not against the game, don't get me wrong, but I'm against on how it has been structured over the last couple of years.
Ben, it's been great having you down here. Great talking baseball. We'll see you out there Thursday night for Italian night. We'll see you out there next Tuesday for Retro TV night, sponsored by WBBZ.
Can't wait for it. Thanks, Bob.
I might send a helping of poutine up to the play-by-play booth for you and Duke.
Well, let's take care of your theme night, though, and send a lot of Italian food up to the broadcast booth.
Maybe we'll try poutine with a little sauce on it instead of that gravy.
We'll call it the Kaczynski.
In New Jersey, they call it gravy. It's sauce. Yeah, we can. No, don't call it the Kaczynski. I don't want poutine named after me. You know, maybe some nice Polish sausage with some melted mozzarella on top.
Oh,
that's a nice
talking.
combination. You like that, don't you? Ben, thanks for being down.
Thanks, Bob.
We'll see you Thursday night. Hey, speaking of baseball, the New York Yankees, next Tuesday, July 23rd, 8 o'clock, they'll be taking on the Texas Rangers. Always exciting Yankee baseball right here on WBBZ TV. We'll be back to take a look at the Taste of Buffalo right after this on All Sports Western New York. Welcome back. Don't forget, Tuesday, July 23rd, Classic TV night at Coca-Cola Field, Buffalo Bison Baseball. If you'd like to win a couple tickets, go to WBBZ.TV, click on Ticket Giveaway. Perhaps you can be with us for Classic TV night, sponsored by WBBZ.TV. Plenty of giveaways. Nostalgia, if you love Classic TV, as you do here on WBBZ TV, go to the Bison's game Tuesday, July 23rd. This past weekend, I had the honor of being a judge at the Taste of Buffalo. They, of course, celebrating a birthday. It's just some tremendous food out there on Delaware Avenue. Our WBBZ.TV cameras were there. Let's take a look.
Hi. on WBBZ TV.
It's your birthday. It's my birthday to you. It's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Topps is really proud to be the presenting sponsor once again, and it's even more of a special occasion because it's the Taste 30th anniversary, and we're having a great day. It's a birthday celebration, and my fellow counterparts from Topps, we're looking forward to having a great sing-along to kind of honor the Taste 30th celebration.
I'm Tito from Buffalo, and you're watching me on WBBZ TV.
I'm Bev from Hamburg,
I'm Chip from Hamburg
and you're watching me.
on WBBZ TV.
Great job there by Tim Batt, and you saw our Hot Shot Shootout, which is the new promotion for WBBZ TV, and John DeShulo and all the staff here. And if you see us out there with the Hot Shot Shootout, stop. You have a chance to win some great prizes. All you got to do is throw the football through the hole. We'll be back to wrap things up on All Sports Western New York right after this.
Guests of All Sports Western New York receive a gift certificate from DePaulo's Restaurant and Ringside Lounge, South Park Avenue in Blaisdell.
Next week, special guest John Murphy, of course, from the Buffalo Bills, the voice of the Bills, will be out watching John in action doing his nightly radio show. And we'll be talking to John next week about the chances for the Buffalo Bills for the upcoming season. That's going to do it. I'd like to thank Ben Wagner for being with us. Don't forget, next week, as I just said, John Murphy. Thursday night, it's Italian night at the Bisons. Next Tuesday, it's classic TV night at the Bisons. So enjoy. Until next week, this is Bob Kaczynski saying have yourselves a good night and a much better tomorrow.